जॉब चाहिए?
जरूर, लेकिन इस बार कुछ हटके है, सो स्टे ट्यून्ड।
Hello, welcome back. This is episode 4 of How I Made It. Definitely check out our last episode we did with Saswata, Aditya, and Akash regarding GSoC. Today we'll be talking to Priyansi and Sayan Nath from our ML team who got selected in GSoC and GSoD. So Priyansi is also the content team lead here at DSC KIIT, and Sayan also heads the Flutter team. Priyansi got selected as a technical writer for PyTorch Ignite at Google Season of Docs, and Sayan got his proposal accepted in TensorFlow Lite for GSoC. So today we'll be talking with them. Today joining me is my co-host Biswaroop. Biswaroop, how are you doing today?
Hey guys, I'm doing great. So, in case you don't know about GSoC, then please go to our previous video and check it out. And GSoD is basically Google's season of docs. So it provides support for open source projects to improve their documentation, and also gives professional technical writers an opportunity and to gain experience in open source. So Priyanshi, would you like to say a bit about GSoD? What is it basically?
Sure. Okay, like you mentioned, it is from this year the rules changed and they expect more experienced technical writers to apply, but don't let that deter you. Just get a few articles published, maybe write API documentation, and contributing to open source documentation also helps a lot to get you that edge. And the second thing that changed in GSoC this year is that there will be no mentors and Google won't act as a middle manager. You have to talk to the maintainers yourself and get a head start. You have to organize yourself. There will be no one to guide you, and hence that experienced technical writers part. And also because Google is not in the middle from this year, there are several perks, which is there won't be a fixed stipend like there is in GSoC. The stipend varies from $2,000 to $10,000 per writer. So yeah, I guess that was all about GSoC.
Wow. Okay. So this becomes more like a freelance kind of thing. Like you are the
Yes.
one taking initiative and getting things done. Okay. That's nice.
So, Priyanshi, you got selected for PyTorch Ignite. So, why PyTorch Ignite, and how did you choose this project, basically?
Okay, so the organizations who were selected, the list came out on April 16th, and I wasn't sure if I was going to take part in GSoD, but then I saw PyTorch Ignite, and I'm a big fan of PyTorch, as you can see right here. And
Yeah.
so I was like, fuck it, it's going to be PyTorch Ignite or nothing else. So I just gave it all for just one organization, and prepared my proposals, talked to the maintainers, and I guess here we are. That's how I chose the
Yeah.
project.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
Sayan, like, what about you? How did you choose? Like, how did you know that okay, I want to work in TensorFlow Lite? Because I know you have a lot of experience with TensorFlow. You have done a lot of work in DSC as well with TensorFlow. So I just want to know that what were you thinking? How did you choose that?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I was trying for GSoC for quite a long time since class 12. Yeah, it might be shocking or maybe like that for the viewers, but yeah, I was trying from since class 12. And I was every year I was going through the proposal of every not proposal, the project docs which is mentioned by them, the portal. I always check them out, and this year TensorFlow Lite part has been I hooked up to that, and it was great. And the thing I do in DSC and other stuff where I work in code work, so it matches my profile. And also I have work related to that. I have done work related to that, and so I chose TensorFlow for
Okay.
my GSoC proposal.
So I guess for both of you, it was more like, okay, this is what I've been using mostly in my development work, and I guess that's where I can improve the community and the technical content, I guess. So, San, like, when did you start, I guess, preparing? I don't know if preparing is the right word, but when did you start planning and, okay, this year I'm going to apply, this is what I have to do, I guess. Maybe tell that story.
Yeah, I feel that there is no need to prepare for GSoC differently, but yeah, you can enhance your skills by doing courses, or I must say that be touch with the mentors, talk with the GDs. Like I've been in touch with the GDs of ML. Like Sai always helped me a lot, and
Mhm.
Akshay Bahadur and Bhavesh Bhatt. They have helped me, and they give me insights at how to like work on TensorFlow and all of this stuff. And yeah, and I've also made a PR in Keras, and I've talked with like my PR has been reviewed by Francois Chalot, who is the Keras creator.
Oh my god!
So
Like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah, yeah. Actually,
Wow,
the PR
that's
is
great.
under review. Yeah, the PR is
nice.
under review. So I've added a coding example as well. So this gave me an edge to that. So yeah.
That's great. So, like now, Priyanshi. So, like, when did you start preparing for basically this GSoC?
April 18th to be exact.
Wow,
I again, like, I did
wow.
not have any plans participating, and it was like that exact date. Like, I reached out to the maintainers, and yeah, I started reading through. Like what PyTorch Ignite was. I had a vague idea, but then I went through their docs and pointed out a few things that I could change. Like I sent them my resume, everything. I guess made a few PRs during my incense, like when the incense were going on, and I guess that was it. So I started preparing. But I
It
had
is,
also like worked
yeah.
with PyTorch like for an entire year, so that definitely helped me give an edge, and also like published few articles on that. So yeah, that too.
It is weird, like how all the great ideas come when there are exams on top of our head.
Yes,
So, like a lot
yes,
of people I
yes.
talk to are like, yeah, and some ke time hi meko idea aaya and all that. Anyways, moving
That
on.
rush.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Biswa, like I guess we should ask Sayan about what was, because in open source, I guess the very first contribution, like serious contribution you
Yeah,
make
yeah.
to any kind of project is the one that gives you a lot of confidence. Ki, okay, I got this now. Like I can be, I guess, a contributing member. So, Sayan, what was your like first contribution? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, the first PR, like the big PR I made, like it was not like the I want to do GSoC in TensorFlow. It was a long back,
Exactly.
of like November or so, and I got my app enlisted in the MLGD end-to-end tutorials of DF Lite, where actually I downloaded a model from TF Hub. So those who don't know TF Hub is what TF Hub is. So TF Hub is a collection of like models which are made in Tensor. So like it is accessible to everyone, so that you can download and use it in your end devices. So like I've downloaded that MINet model, which is developed by Somit Rakshit, and the TF-Lite file was developed by Sayak Paul. So I downloaded that and integrated it in my app, and after that I sent it to both of them, and like Sayak Bhaiya like told me that you can enlist your app repository in this repo, so
Hmm.
like, you can do it. So after that I made a PR and it got accepted, and
Nice.
fortunately it got like notable open source projects, like it got mentioned in Google I/O in one of the meetup talks
And
in
that's great.
Wow.
the
Yeah.
communication system of TF Lite by Saif Paul. So yeah, along with like my mentor was also there, his projects was also there, and beside that my project was also there. So it was a great deal for me. So yeah, this was the thing.
Hmm.
Really big achievement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, yes.
So, Priyanshi, like, what was your first contribution that you made for this PyTorch Ignite, basically?
Okay, so it wasn't a big contribution. Like it was just when I was setting the environment locally. It was when I noticed that it wasn't inclusive for like WSL devs, so Windows devs. Okay.
Hmm.
So there was something that was missing that has to be included. That was WSL specific. So yeah, that was just my first PR. It was a pretty small PR, but it gave me a lot of confidence. Like okay, this is the main part. This is now over. I can focus on something else. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how both of your stories have like a different. It is not monotonic. Like Sayan had a big win somewhere else, where Priyansi did something else. So
Have
a lot
their
of
own
people
twists
think
in
that
them.
there is
Yeah.
this one recipe to just get into these programs, but everyone has a different story of how they kind of get ahead, I guess, with the achievements and the PRs and all that. I wanted to discuss a bit with about the proposal. So
So Shayan, how did you like? Can you like walk us through around like how did you write your proposal? Basically, what the changes you made on it, and what was the whole process behind it?
Yeah, so actually, I would like to tell everyone that just stick to one organization first and make a proposal. So when I just selected TensorFlow, so I made a proposal according to that. And for each organization, like the proposal, the things changes, the format changes. So like I also took the help of many previous year proposals for different organization to get the basic idea that how it is written and all of the stuff. So I just mentioned the abstract, the title, and all of the things, the contributions I made for made in open source, all the things with the link of the PRs and the repository which I have done, and given a description that what I have been doing that in that, and like also to mention a good timeline so that the mentor also gets the idea that what kind of work you are doing in the summers, and based upon that your selection will be made. And these are the basic things which you need to keep in mind while writing the proposal. And I would like to add up that uh, get the suggestions from mentor, because it's very important, because they will guide you, and they will make changes and do that. And like I've also got like reviewed by Sayak Paul. He made brilliant reviews, and I just implemented that, which led me to crack GSoC. That's it.
Great. Okay.
So, Priyansi, like, what was your approach like? Because I saw your proposal; it was really good. Can you talk little bit more about how you wrote up that proposal? And we will link her proposal in the, I guess, description of wherever you're watching this, because it was an amazing proposal. I guess the PyTorch maintainers also had the same reaction. So, Priyansi, please go ahead.
Okay, so first things first, GSoC provides a sample proposal template on their website. Also, all the previous year's proposals, like all the technical writers' proposals that were accepted for like all the previous years, are on their website itself. So I checked that out when we started writing the proposal. So I chose uh, not the most detailed or the least detailed, somewhere in the middle, like when the timelines were. As some sort of a baseline where the timelines were mentioned properly and the work experience etc were given. So first things first, yes, work experience should be there. So here you can mention articles, of course, that you've written. Publication, of course, if you have any like papers you have written. Then again, the open source documentations that you've worked on. So here I've worked on like with Junaid only on Project Halide, and there was
Yeah,
the Learn See the Fun Way, that tutorial, the written tutorial series.
yeah,
All of that part helped, obviously, and then all the articles from like DSC KIIT and Mozilla BBSR worked. The next part is like why PyTorch Ignite. Yeah, that I think I made that clear pretty much that I love
yeah.
PyTorch. But yeah, then the next part was, yeah, the proposal, like the timeline, because it extends over 5 months. So still I tried to give a week by week breakdown on what I'll be doing. And this part was actually um, reviewed multiple times by the maintainers. So I sent them the first draft and just asked them if that matches their vision or not. And they suggested a few changes, and I made the changes accordingly. And I guess that was it. And this last and the final part, again, that I mentioned, because things changed this year from GSoD, you'll also have to give a proposed budget, and you need to talk this out with your maintainers if they are looking to hire one technical writer or two technical writers. It depends on that, so you need to give that as well, and like your time commitment and everything. And the thing that I did different was I made my proposal in Notion, and I think that was the part they
Yes,
appreciated the most,
yes,
because it
yes.
was all detailed. Because I cannot stand Google Docs, because it's also clumsy. It's everything is at one place, but Notion, everything becomes modular. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was. And yes, we'll
Notion.
link down the
Yeah,
proposal. Yep.
Notion like adds this whole dynamic vibe to the proposal, so you can like create drop downs and stuff, and the calendars, timelines, and all that. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm picking up from both of you is like you had a lot of communication with the maintainers. So I just wanted to ask, like, how often did you like have a chat? Did you join their Discord? Did you talk to them on a regular basis? Like Priyansi, maybe you want to add this.
Yes,
How often
so
did you
we
talk to your maintainers?
uh, very regularly. So I reached
Mm-hmm.
out to the core maintainer on Discord, and we talked to, I'd say, 3 to 4 times a week. Just if I found a bug, if I did not understand something, I reach out to him, even like feedback on my proposal, everything. And then also we before they selected me, we had a meet, so a video call just to know my goals better. And they also added several things to my proposal, like they asked me if I wanted to manage the community, since they saw like I was in DSC KIIT too. So they asked me if they wanted me to do the same for PyTorch Ignite, and I said yes. So we added that to my proposal too. And yeah, I think those were my interactions before like my
Mm-hmm.
proposal got
Okay.
selected.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
So Sayan, so like how often did you like talk to maintainers? Like what was the duration of communicating with them?
Actually, Actually, there are many groups of TensorFlow in Telegram. So I used to talk with the mentors there, and the most like important like the mentor who actually helped me a lot is Hype also. Like he guides me, he mentors me from previous year only, not only that before GSoC. And like I just ping him that if I have any constraint on my work or so, like I ask help from him, what to do in this case and all the stuff. He guides me in a proper way. And
Mm-hmm.
there is Akshay Bahadur as well. Like he has also inspired me and helped me a lot. So yeah, like you have to like be in the limelight of the maintainers, that yes, this is a boy or the girl who is actually passionate enough. And if you are really passionate enough and do and want to do things, and so yeah, the maintainers will know, and the mentors will also know about you, and they can also help you to every very extent. So yeah, like you have to be in the limelight and like be passionate to your work as well.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like I've seen many posts by Sai Paul in Twitter. Basically, he does amazing work. Like he
Yeah,
releases
he does
those
amazing
models,
work.
yeah,
Yeah.
replicates
He
papers.
actually, he actually reads the paper and like try to
Mm-hmm.
implement in TensorFlow
Very
or
cool stuff it
PyTorch.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So TensorFlow
He
is
does
like the
amazing.
person to go, I feel like,
Yep.
in India. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Priyanshi, so what was the Eureka moment you would say? Like something, it just like a moment where it all like started to click, something like that in this journey of GSoD for you.
Like could
Okay.
be the first contribution, or just like Sayan
Hmm.
mentioned his work in MIRNet and all. Could be anything just that came together that made you think like, okay, now I understand what's happening here. That kind of moment.
Gave you a confidence boost, something like that.
Okay, so everything happened like very quickly for me, because, like I said, from April 18th to like May 10th, when I came to know like I was selected, everything was so quick. And even like I had to write down the proposal, everything was going really fast. So I was really in the dark. I wasn't sure if I was writing the right things, or even am I the right person to do this. And when we had that meet, May 5th, I guess, with the core maintainers, and they appreciate the proposal. They asked me a few questions, and they pointed out a few things, but they really liked the approach that I had taken and the things that I wanted to work on. And that really gave me a sense of confidence, like, okay, I can do this finally. Like that imposter syndrome went away, I guess, in that
Mhm.
moment. I think that was my Eureka moment.
What about you, San? Do you want to add something? Is there a moment
Uh,
you want to share?
Like I talked it about previously, when when I was making proposal at that point of time, like I was like seeing, yeah, I have chances for getting my proposal selected. And like
Mm-hmm.
the moment which actually like boosted me up, when like I made a proposal to the Keras repository, and like Francis Charlotte reviewed it and all of the stuff, and he also appreciated that, like, yeah, like, and all of the stuff. So it boosted me up, like, yeah, I can do, like, like anything can like everything is possible if you work hard. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was the
Okay,
key
so
Yeah,
message for me.
that's
yeah,
right.
that's great. So now that you have got selected, oh sorry, now that you are selected, now what I want to talk about is like what's next, because now that you are in, you will mostly have a 10 to 12 week timeline, I guess, for Sayan, and for Priyansi it's around 6 months. So what exactly will you be doing? Because you will be implementing a proposal. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about that. What is the exact kind of work you will be doing in the next coming weeks? So maybe Sayan, you can go first and have a stab at it.
Yeah. So actually, TensorFlow team is working hard so that they can do the like inference in on device. So
Mm-hmm.
they have like created a task library which is known as TensorFlow task library, so that the
Yeah.
app developers who don't know actually ML can easily implement the TF files on device. So I like my work is to like make the examples
Mm-hmm.
with the help of TensorFlow task library, and so that the people can visit there and can see that how to implement task library in NLP based apps for both Android, which is written in Java,
Okay.
and for iOS, which is written in Swift.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my work for till August.
Okay. Okay. What about you, Priyansi? Like, you want to add to the
Yeah.
question?
I think I didn't really like define like what PyTorch Ignite does. So PyTorch Ignite is a
Mm-hmm.
high level API library that like makes training your neural networks like easier and flexible and like more modular. So I'll be like working on their docs, mostly like auditing and rewriting their entire docs based on like feedback from the users. And I'll also be working on like engaging the community, improving interaction and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that would like the next 5 months look like. So everything from their readmes to their docs to their examples, tutorials, code, everything, and also
Wow.
be bringing out certain blogs. So yeah, it's a whole revamp of the entire library. Uh, Hopefully, I'll
That's
be
a lot.
writing like new
Yeah.
blogs. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot of
Hope
work, like, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Hopefully, like 5 months would be enough. But I will also like contribute more and more after those
Mm-hmm.
5 months, obviously. And just like doing a lot of work in the community, I guess, increasing like members on even like interaction on Discord and discussions and everything else.
Wow. That's great. Yeah.
So, guys, like it's been a really lockdown till now, as for all of us. But like, what did you guys like do in lockdown specifically? Like, which helped you guys to get an edge like among the other participants for the GSoC. So, Shane, you can go first. Yeah.
Yeah, so I I have done a bunch of courses from Coursera, which is instructed by like Lawrence Moroney, who is the TensorFlow developer advocate at Google.
Mm-hmm.
So I did many courses from there, and I also moved into backend development, like learn stuff as well. And like I have also like made projects like which uses like ML on device. I've also like took session on DF Lite as well in DSC KIIT, which is there
Yeah.
in the YouTube channel as well. So yeah, this
Yes.
gave me an edge, and like I read docs, I wrote many articles on weight pruning and model optimization technique, like which involves quantization and all of the stuff, which is actually a very niche topic, and which is not covered like so much by many places. So yeah, this was my mantra.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So, Priyanshi,
What about,
like,
yeah,
what's
Priyansi?
your answer?
Okay, so at the start of the lockdown, I was learning fast AI, and with that being part of a community really helped. It was
Mm-hmm.
then that I submitted my first PR in a major library, and after that, I switched to PyTorch, and it has been PyTorch ever since. With a few projects in PyTorch, two major projects, I'd say, published a paper, and along with that, just also became like closely followed various open source communities and just reach out to maintainers and talk to them. I guess that really helped, how like the entire open source community culture was, to get to know that. And yeah, throughout the year also published several articles like DSC KIIT. So yeah, those were the things that gave me like luckily helped out in GSoD.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
that's great. Yeah.
I would like to point out one thing in GSoC. Basically, I've seen this notion among people, many people, uh, that how it's about cracking GSoC, and actually how it is not about
Yeah.
cracking GSoC.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they basically think, yeah, it's all about cracking GSoC as if it's just an exam or something like that.
I can add a story to this. I remember one of my friends once got a call from a salesman, and he's like, "आप 5,000 रुपए भरो fees में, and then we'll teach you how to write code to crack GSoC."
Wow.
Like
Oh my
that's
God.
the amount of that's the mindset people are having regarding GSoC, and I think it's very wrong, because it's not about it's never an exam, because as we saw, everyone has an individual story of how they're adding meaningful contributions to a particular community. For Sayan, it's a different story. For Priyansi, it's a different story, and I'm sure you have heard the last episode. For every person, it was a different kind of arc. So maybe you guys want to add your opinion to this whole mania about cracking GSoC,
Yeah,
and
that
how
would be
you
great.
think it's wrong and stuff. Sayan,
Sayan,
you
do
want
you
to
wanna
go
go
ahead,
first?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Because I have seen like even like cracking FANG companies is like getting IITs. Like it is compared, like it is equivalent to like if you are cracking IITs or triple IITs. So and GSoC is like that. You need to crack GSoC. You need to go. Like there are many open source or like program which actually revolves, and like the latest news, like there is GitHub extension program for third year students as well. They can apply there as well. Like it is the first year which is start. Like people can apply there as well. And please
Yeah.
guys, don't make it a JE or like kind of a competitive exam type. It's not an exam. If you don't like your proposal gets don't selected, don't feel demotivated, because there is like if you if you are selected in GSoC, then like it will give you the thing that yeah, you know open source, like you know how to merge a PR, and you got to know the understanding of all of the things work and all this stuff. And if you like don't get it, then like it's pretty okay. Like there are many people who haven't cracked GSoC, and they are like sitting at a very good level. So I guess it is actually restructured or like reframed in such a way so like the people are getting attracted to GSoC and all of this stuff. Like do the sake for the community. And like I haven't thought that like I'm making contributions for only GSoC. Like I wanted to crack GSoC, but I haven't made my contribution solely so that I can crack GSoC and all this stuff. So yeah, do good for the community. And
Yeah,
it is the byproduct. Yeah.
I want to second, like, don't make it like IIT JEE. Thankfully, that hasn't come to GSoD yet. And for me, like, open source is very practical. It's like you use a tool, you find either a bug or you find you want to add a feature, you talk to your maintainers, and that's how you contribute. That's it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that helped for me, like Fast AI, then Streamlit, then PyTorch, all of that helped. So yeah, and again, again as a small thing, like I joined. So I saw the advertisement for a WhatsApp group, some kind of coding club yesterday only, and the first
Yeah.
line was like, "Join our community of coders. We teach you how to join GSoC or crack GSoC." And
GSoC,
again, it was
basically.
yes, and it was I joined that group, and it was all about marketing. Well, I shared this poster in other like 5 WhatsApp groups and stuff. So that is what's happening, and it's just sad to see that. So
Yeah. So like from your advice, what I can pick is, most of you were already working in those kind of fields. So a lot of people think, okay, I should start learning TensorFlow for GSoC. That like does not make sense, because you have to
Yeah.
like Sayan has almost 2 to 3 years of experience working in that. So that kind of sets the tone. Okay, you have to be really into that technology and actually use it for something else what it's actually been used for. And then you can think of, okay, yeah, I can contribute and make changes and all.
To
So
improve the library, yeah.
Yeah. So Priyansi has been a PyTorch user. I have worked with her on PyTorch, and that's why she is now capable of doing additions to the community. So I guess that is an important change in mindset,
Yeah.
that it's not about everything is for GSoC or GSoD or anyway. Moving on, I guess we should take some audience questions. We asked on our social handles about questions. I'm sure you will be, either you will answer them or you will maybe kind of explain why that asking that question is wrong, because we have a lot of those as well. So my first question is, bare minimum time to gain enough skills so that we are able to contribute to ML repos.
Zero according to me, because you can go to any ML repo, just read, just set up that environment, and you'll find some sort of type or bug. You don't need to know ML to contribute to an ML repo. Again, that sort of mentality is wrong. Like bare minimum again. Like no, do it for
Yeah.
the love of ML. Like don't just like do it for okay, I have to contribute to it. Yeah. Can you
So I
like to add in
guess,
something?
yeah.
Yeah, so you can first of all clone the repo and just try to run the code in Colab, which is a great tool I feel, and just try to run that and get the things which are actually needed to actually contribute. Because I have also seen the project docs of Postman, and where there is a tool called Newman, which is a CLI based tool. So if you are contributing to Postman Newman tool, so you need to know that how to implement CLI using Node.js. So if you don't know Node.js, that if you don't know how to implement CLI in Node.js, then how can you contribute? So yeah, the things should be required so that you can know that what's going on and all of the stuff. But yeah, but the most important thing here is your basics should be clear on that topic which you are choosing.
Yeah.
That is the most important.
A lot of I guess people miss this, that you actually need to know the tech you're using. It's not just you wake up and be like, okay, I'll contribute to GSoC. I guess the next question is the role of DSA in development. That's a controversial one. What do
On
you
a
what do you
higher
guys want?
level,
Yeah,
on a
what do
higher
you guys
level,
want to
yes,
say?
DSA is really important. Yes, it helps you understand things on a higher level. But if you're talking about lead code, solving lead code questions and all, no, it isn't important for development. It's like a totally different thing altogether. So yeah, I don't think it has any importance in your when you submit your proposal. DSA is important.
Yeah. Sayan, you want to add something?
Frankly speaking, you should do DSA, but I have not done DSA, but I know certain basic data structures which actually help me, like collection framework of array list and all the stuff. You should know that hash maps, how it works and all the stuff. If you know that basic kind of stuff, it can lead you to select your proposal in GSoC or in any organization or any kind of stuff, or do any open source contribution. So you just don't have to be a 4-star coder or 5-star coder in courses to make any contribution. So
yeah. So I guess it's more about how those structures fit into the technology you're using.
Yes.
Okay. There are a few questions about how to write the proposal. I guess we answered those. How do you, this is a very generic question, I guess, how to improve upon your basic skills to get selected? I guess this goes again into that whole cracking GSoC mentality. Anyway, you want to add something to this?
Not really. Again, just nothing actually.
But I want to tell that just get the basics clear, like what is needed. If you are contributing TensorFlow, so and if you don't know what tensors are and how to handle NumPy arrays, so I guess you can't contribute to that, because we have to play with that only. So I guess basics should be cleared in order to contribute to any open source kind of thing. And I have contributed to TensorFlow Lite, and if I don't know Android and I just came up and I just want to contribute, that doesn't make sense. You should have a work done with the basic things. So the basic requirement should be clear, which is actually around the tool or something like that.
So it depends on how to work then.
Also, there's you don't have to contribute to really look those big repos only. You can also like
Yeah.
start with a small repos. There are so
Yeah,
many
yes.
repos around ML, like just not like few repos you have. So yeah, like most people don't see that. They just see those core repos only as the like main thing to
Yeah.
main thing as open source.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
And at the beginning, I guess you should start slow. You can also like make contribution, like you make your first contribution in your college communities as well, to
Yes.
get a
Yeah.
head start and to get a confidence that yeah, I can do it. Like go out there, clone that repo, run that code. If you find that any like if you find any bugs and something like that, point out an issue and tell that I would like to, like, can you just make me like assign this issue to me, and I would like to solve it. So then if the maintainer like tells you that yeah, go ahead, and you can make a PR and do that, and make sure that the like repository is active and people are like the maintainer is also active. Because if you like make a issue in a repository where the repository is created 5 years ago and it is not maintained, then like you will not get any reply
Silence.
for that. Yeah,
still
yeah, there will
Yeah.
be a silence. Yeah.
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 So now I guess we should get to big picture stuff. Priyansi, I would ask this question to you. I guess what advice do you have for like first years or any juniors, or anyone who is like any kind of student who is try to get into an open source program like GSoC or GSoD for that matter?
Okay, I guess I should talk about GSoD first. So again, the rules changed this year, so they do give an edge to experienced writers, but don't let that deter you because a lot of students got selected this year too. So I would say start writing, and for it's not even just for GSoD, just start writing as a developer. It's really important that
Yeah.
you have that writing culture. Yes, Junaid would strongly agree with that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, just start writing and start publishing wherever you can. Start like
Mhm.
even like open source documentation, start contributing to that. It will definitely help you. And then again, when you choose that organization, be a little bit careful about like if you're choosing like an I saw like an organization PyMC3, so it's for like probabilistic programming. Okay, so here someone who has like more experience with maths or even has like a maths degree would get an edge because you have to explain that stuff. So anyone with a degree would obviously help explain that better. So keep that in mind too while like selecting your organizations. And yeah, I guess those were the things, like write more, choose your organizations, and just talk a lot to maintainers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fan, like what would be your advice
Yeah,
on
so
this?
I've seen like most of the YouTubers telling that when the organizations are announced, go and contribute to those organizations. Like this only like shows us that it is a one month game, but actually it's not. It's a whole 1 year plan which you need
Mhm.
to like maintain, and you need to like contribute to open source and all of this stuff. So like don't do it in the sake of GSoC, not for the stipend. Stipend doesn't matter. Like if you are like contributing for like such a big like organization, and people are getting impacted from it, it is a very big deal for anyone. So yeah, just do it for the community, for the sake of community. That's it.
Mhm.
Great.
I would also like to add like one more thing.
Yeah.
Yes, so GSoC is like you said, a year-long planning. But for GSoC, I would like to suggest like even if you're late in the game, but you love the organization, you know you can like make a change. You want to like bring a change. Do try, because again, I was really late into the game. Like again, my entire I think in 22 days, like from applying to getting selected, it was a really small period since it happened. But I knew I wanted that. So yes,
Mhm.
that even if you're late in the game, just give it your all and see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this episode. Thank you so much, Sayan and Priyansi, for being here. We will attach all the social media handles and all that, the links to their proposals as well in the description of wherever you're watching this. Definitely share this episode with your friends or any colleagues you know if you thought this conversation was meaningful. Yeah, thank you so much.